Hello everyone, happy Thursday. I hope everybody's doing all right today. We started a couple of days ago this little apron, and I did go ahead and finish. I put the icing on our gingerbread man. I didn't get finished on the last live, so we're going to finish it up today. Got some things we're going to put up here, and I did go ahead and put his tongue in. So got that done. And if you want to see how we got the pattern on and everything, then go back and watch the first video. It'll be there for 28 days now. Facebook leaves them on for 30 days, and that was a couple of days ago. So 28 days you can watch it. I am Pam Savage, owner of Young at Heart Creations, and I'm so glad to have you here. Hi, Sherry. You should be getting your Happy Mail, Sherry, any day now. I mailed it. It went out Tuesday morning, so you should be getting it anytime. Hopefully you'll get it over the weekend. But this is where we are so far. I've got it on a cardboard shirt cut out from Hobby Lobby. You can get them in adult size and then a smaller size for a youth size. And so this is, whoops, sorry, I hit the phone. So this is what we've got done so far. So I am going to bring you down here. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for hopping on. Let me get my comments going over here. See if we can get it pulled up. Everybody's been having trouble getting their comments up, and the lives have kind of been going in and out while we're on, so I don't know what's going on. But my throat's a little scratchy today, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put a cough drop in. I'll try to be quiet with it. No promises, but I'll try. Hi, Susie. Hello, hello. Looks like we're going to get some rain and maybe some storms. They're saying we may get some hail. I don't want any of that, but... All right, I'm trying to get my computer pulled up over here. You're very welcome. Thank you for taking that Santa class. So Sherry Unterbrink is the winner. She was the winner of our Happy Meal during our 3-day workshop. Okay, so I'm going to bring you on down, and I'm going to try to get this up here done, and then hopefully I'll have time to work on the pockets. We were trying to decide whether to go ahead and put peppermints, since we've already got the red and white stripes. I wasn't sure if I wanted that. Somebody said gumdrops, which would be really cute. So I'm trying not to get real detailed because I am out of time. Literally out of time. Everything I'm painting right now is for Tamara Bennett's. She's with Southern Adornments Decor, and she is having a live event. There'll be close to 300 women there in Florida, and I will have a booth there selling some of my things, and this is one of the things that's going. So I've been trying to get lots of things ready for that, and I don't have near what I wanted to have ready for it, but it is what it is, and we're just gonna go have a good time anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with some brown. This is fabric paint. I try to use fabric paint when I can, but a lot of times, and look how stringy that is, you have to really be careful. It's kind of like cheese. It doesn't want to let go. So you have to make sure you disconnect that before you drag it over to whatever you're painting, or you'll end up getting a streak of paint across where you did not want it. Okay, and I'm going to start out with a liner brush. This is Royal and Lang Nickel, and it's Moderna, and it's a size 1. Okay, so I've got that brown in there. And what I'm going to do, we're just going to do some, pine branches coming down from his forehead just to kind of fill this in up here, and then we'll move down to the pockets. So I'm just going to fill that liner brush with some of that brown. And again, I want to show you and stress how important it is with some of these fabric paint brands. Some of the colors are very, very stringy, like cheese. And that line does not want to let go, so you have to make it let go. Okay, so I'm going to come down with one, and I'm going to start right up at the top of the head and come over the icing. And I'm just going to have a little branch there. And then I'm going to fill it in with some little branches coming out. And start back up here at the top. And come out to the right. Everywhere I have a main branch, I'm going to have at least one branch coming out. Okay, and one coming out this way. I'm going to come back the other direction on it. This is textured. This apron is textured. So sometimes the little craters or divots, I don't know what you want to call it, in the fabric, you have to kind of force that paint to go down in it. Okay, let's come back up with one right there. Okay, now let me see which brush I want to use. I may try a couple different ones. Just going in with another round, a little bit shorter. But let's dry that brown. Then we're going to start out with, on these pine needles, I like to do 2 to 3 different colors of green. So we're going to start out with Hauser dark green. Get that good and dry. So I usually start, when I'm doing foliage, I start with the darkest and work my way up to the lightest. Because the lightest looks like new growth, new leaf growth on it. And I like to get the paint a little bit thin when I'm doing these branches. And this is the tray that we've been using. My green, I added my medium green, I added just a little bit of that fabric medium to it. Fabric paint I use straight out of the bottle. If it's regular acrylic paint, like Deco Art, then it's 2 parts paint to 1 part fabric medium. And you just mix it in there until you don't see the white anymore. Here's one I haven't mixed up. I was going to use that color and I decided it was too dark, so I didn't even mix it up. So that's, you'll see that milkiness. That is the fabric medium. Okay, so we're going to start over here with the Hauser dark, and I've already mixed it up. Oh, I wish you were going to be there too. Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing the virtual. Hang on, I lost us over here. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, so I've just got some of that green paint on there, that Hauser dark green. And I'm just going to start at the branches and start just flicking out some little pine needles in all different directions. Just kind of getting them thick. Sometimes they're going to overlap another branch, and that's great. That's what you want. Okay, and then I'm going to work my way over. I always start in the middle and go with the first one that goes straight down. And then I come up. And I'm going right over those branches that those needles that I just did. And I tend to have them pointing downward and then straight out. I have some long ones, some short ones. So I'll go down one direction and then I kind of come back in the other direction, crossing over the ones that I just did. Okay, let's start on this one that's pointing towards the eye. So there's my first one. And then I'm just going to start flicking them out. And it doesn't take much pressure at all. You don't want them to be thick and fat. You want them to be light and airy, as if they were real pine needles. Okay, so I'm going down. Now I'm going to kind of come back, just very lightly, the other direction. And I keep dipping into my paint. I'm just not putting much pressure at all on them. Here's what we've got so far. If you're watching the replay, be sure to put hashtag replay on there so that we will know you were here. And also, if your phone did not ping or ring a little bell for you telling you that I was going live, that means one of two things. Either you're not following me, or you are following me, but you have not clicked on to get all video notifications when I go live. To do that, you're going to click on, there's either a little arrow down at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen next to the word following, or once you're following, you have to be following. And then if you'll click on the arrow, it'll bring up a drop-down box, and click on the very first one that says all live videos. And then when I'm live, it'll give you a little notification that I'm live. And if you're not following, I would appreciate it so much. I'm at 2,087 followers, I believe. And every time I hit a new 100 followers, once we hit that 100 mark, each time I send out, I do a drawing for some Happy Meal. I draw from those that comment on my lives. All you have to do is say hello or hi. Something that I will see your name in the, I'm going back the other direction now, that I'll see your name in the comments. And I usually go back and pick from the last video, or sometimes the last couple of videos. Okay, so I think we're good on that side. Let's do this one. And I mean, not much pressure. If you put too much pressure on them, they just look, and you don't want to pull it towards you. You want to start at the branch and flick it out. If you start up here, out away from the branch and pull in, well, then you're going to have a fat end here, and they're not going to look realistic. Now, this is very whimsical. I don't do anything that looks realistic because I'm not that talented. Not because I don't want to, just because I'm just not that talented. That's not my style. I would love to take the time to learn. time is not on my side right now. We've got so much going on. Okay, we can even have some coming up here on the bib. On the apron itself. Okay, and just go with the direction of the branch that you're working on. And I'm dipping about every 4 or 5 needles, just when you can tell when your paint starts running out that you need to redip. And I make this bottom layer thicker because we're going to put at least 1 more color on it, and probably 2. This is the most realistic thing you'll probably ever see me paint, are the pine needles. I need to learn how to, I've never painted a pine cone. Or one that turned out anyway. Now I mixed up a little bit extra of this paint because we're going to be using it on the pockets as well. Okay, so there's those pine needles. I know most everybody's at work this time of day, and I hesitated to go this early, but you just gotta do it when you can do it. Okay, now we're going to go in. That was the dark, Hauser Dark. I think I need a little more right there after I dried it. Fill it in a little bit. Okay, I like it better. I'm a very symmetrical girl. I like things to be symmetrical. And a lot of times they look better when they're not. So I have to really fight it to not make everything symmetrical. Okay, so that was the Hauser Dark Green. This is the Hauser Medium Green. We won't use as much of it. But everywhere you've got needles, you're just going to go in and put a little bit of highlights. In the direction that you were going with those needles. You don't want to cover up all the dark ones, because then you're not going to have any contrast. You could even put snow on them if you wanted to. I won't be on this one, especially if it's snowman. A snowman face, you would want to put some snow on it, on the branches. Okay, just here and there. You want to make sure it's showing, but you want to make sure that you're not covering up the branches, all of them that you just did. was telling myself this morning, I've been wanting to paint a pumpkin. I have not painted a pumpkin yet this year. And I love painting pumpkins. And I thought, well, I need to do one more apron. But I got to tell myself, stop. You're out of time. You've got company coming. You've got a new grandbaby coming. You're going to have your grandson here for 6 days. You've got to finish packing. Okay, so there's with 2 colors. Plus, I've got a ladies' day. I've got to leave here as soon as I finish this and go decorate the table for the ladies' day this Saturday. So excited about it. If you are close enough to drive to the Howe Church of Christ in Howe, Texas, we would love to have you. Our speaker is Cindy Cawley from, I believe, Tennessee. I'm not positive. Okay, now I'm going in with a lime green. This is the fabric paint, but if you don't have the fabric paint lime green, you can use apple green, anything. It's just a really bright green. And we won't use near as much of this as we did the other. So there's the before. We put the lime green on. Very stringy, so make sure that string breaks. We're going to start in the middle. And just here and there. Just to give it some little highlights to look like some new needles are coming in. Just gives it so much more interest. I added a little bit of water to it. Not too worried about this right here because I think we're going to probably stick some berries on there. Just make sure each branch gets some from top to bottom, just a few. It doesn't have to be many. Okay, and there's with the highlight green, the lime green. Okay, let's dry that really well. Okay, now my Dippin' Dotty tips are really not thick enough for this, so I am going to use just the tip of one of these sponge pouncers, and we're going to do some red berries. So I'm just going to dip it in. Make sure it breaks loose. And we're going to put one up here at the top. Reloading. Kind of dip it a little bit. And then 2 down here at the bottom. And then we can go over them with our brush if we need to. You can even just paint them straight on. Okay, let's dry that, and then we can fill them in a little bit with the brush. Actually, I'm going to make the two bottom ones just a little bit larger. So I want them to touch, or almost anyway. Okay, let's get that dry, put a second coat on. Hello, Miss Erica. Yes, we started it a couple of days ago, and so I'm working on finishing him up. Thank you, Miss Jacqueline. Hi, Carol. Thank you. I was just telling them that I'm running out of time for the SA Live stuff, trying to get stuff ready for my booth, which I don't have near the inventory that I had planned on having. So hopefully I just sell out fast because I don't have that much stuff. I'll sell it fast and then I'll just go enjoy all the fun. All right, let's try that, and I want to put one more coat on them. Mr. Pam and I are going to try to go on a date night tonight. It just depends on what the weather is doing. If it's not raining, he needs to mow and get the mowing done. If it is raining, we are going to go see the new Downton Abbey movie. So if you've seen it, don't give me a spoiler alert. Don't tell me anything about it. Unless it is not nice. If it has a lot of language and stuff in it, then I don't want to go see it. But typically they don't. Okay, from my side up here, it looks like a Mickey Mouse. A red Mickey Mouse. Uh-oh. There's splattered paint. I think it will be, especially they serve meals at the movie. You can order your meal and they'll bring it to you. So if we go, I'm not cooking supper. We are just ordering it to be brought to our chair. Okay, let's take a little bit of some of that deep actually, let's take some of that deep, not deep, but antique maroon deco art. Let's take that and do a little bit of shading with it. If y'all want to know how to mix colors in some shading, expertise, you need to go watch Erica Wallace, Wallace House Designs. Erica's on here. And she's so good with mixing colors so that they don't clash with each other. I'm not that talented. I just choose a color that I think is going to work. And keep my fingers crossed that it does. Okay, so I've got some of that deep burgundy, and we're going to define these berries from each other. And remember, it always dries darker. So I've got an angle brush, and I'm just on the toe of that. Let me put it up here where you can see it. Getting a little bit of that antique maroon. Is that what I said it was? Yes, antique maroon. So the bottom two berries are underneath the top one. You could have shaded it exactly the opposite and put the bottom ones over the top one. I'm going to get this a little bit darker. So I'm just walking it out a little bit further. Okay, and then we can put a little bit of a highlight line on the top of them. If I can get my paint open. That Tulip brand fabric paint, man, it is really thick. Very thick. Okay, so let's take a little bit of white. You could use a cream color, antique white. I just have white here, so that's what we're going to go with. So I'm just going to put a little highlight line at the top of each one. Let's go ahead and put a dot. Now it may be a little hard for you to see that shading in there, but it defines those berries, so you know exactly where each one is. Well, Jacqueline, you'll have to go back and watch the replay because it was so simple. It looks hard, but it is so, so easy. They do, Erica. I love deco art. Movie and dinner. Yes, it is a double win. Thanks, Miss Erica. You hug my Raylene for me. Okay, so let's dry that real quick before I do anything else. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to him. I could put a bow tie or something down there, but I think we're done with that. Because I'm running out of time. I've got to keep reminding myself that. I could just detail till the cows come home. Okay, so I've got this clamped on here really good and tight. But now I need to unclamp the bottom part so I can get to the pockets. Because I've got it all clamped and taped. And that one can stay. Okay, so bring Mr. Gingerbread up there. And again, we could do gumdrops. We could do peppermints. We could do candy canes. There's so many different things that we could do. However, since I am running so low on time, I'm going to do something just simple, fast, quick, easy. And haven't done it in a long time. I don't think I've ever done it on fabric. But we're just going to make a couple of cute little wreaths. Now, one thing about these aprons, they do have this leather sewn in emblem here. So that does get in the way. So I just make sure that I come down far enough, you know, under it, doing my pattern. These pockets, these are pockets here, so that you can use. So I am just going to, and I usually count the lines up to see how far up I go. So I get as close to that emblem as I can, and then I just eyeball it. This is sticky where I took the label off, so it keeps sticking to my finger. But I just eyeball it as far as where the center is on this. I'm coming up the red lines. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my chalk and just make my little circle. Let's come down one more because I know I'm going to go out when I start doing this. Okay, and that should be right about there. One thing about this chalk, if you get it on there and you're going, oh no, that's too much. Now you probably can't see those circles I just drew because it is so close to the color. But we've got 2 circles here. And this is just a lid off of a lotion cream jar that I used. Okay, and I'm going to try, I thought I would try using one of my eye makeup brushes from Wet n Wild. I got these at the Dollar Tree, but I also ordered some on Amazon because my Dollar Tree does not carry them anymore. And we're going to go into that, just like we did the pine needles, we're going to go into the Hauser Dark. And this is going to be so simple. I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush a little bit, but then really wipe it off on the paper towel. And I'm just going to start dipping into that Hauser Dark green. And I'm just going to start round and round those circles on each side. And I'm just going to move my brush around different ways. All right, let me set this. Okay, y'all remember what happened last time I set this over here? I flipped it off the table and it got everywhere. So I'm going to try not to do that this time. You could use a sponge, which I've used many times to do this, and it gives you a whole different texture. So notice how I'm turning because I don't want it to be just perfectly, every little leaf is sticking out in the same direction. You could use an old scruffy brush. You could even use one of those sponge pouncers. You can even use your fingers. Just dip and go around. This is a fun project for kids. Now I don't want to come off the bottom of my pocket. And just kind of get it. I like to get it kind of the even thickness. See how thick it is right here, but it's real thin over here. And I know you can't see that from that far off very well, but so I fill in some of the inside of it. Trying to get it where that's not hitting my, these are ceramic tiles that I'm painting on under this that I use for my on my table, and that's what you're hearing. Okay. See if I can get it up a little bit closer to you. I need to tell Santa Claus that I want a canvas phone holder. I'm still using my Archon, which works, but I would like an overhead, a good overhead view sometimes. Okay, let's go ahead, since we've got this color in my brush, let's go ahead and do the one over here. Ideally, I would have centered these in these pockets, but with this emblem over here, this decal, you just can't do that. Now on wood, this would be different because it's not going to soak in and spread out like it does on the fabric. But these make really, really cute Christmas cards. Something so easy the kiddos can do. You could even, just like we did those pine needles a minute ago, draw your circle and do pine needles. The little pine branches going all the way around. Okay, so I'm just thickening it up to kind of mimic the one that we just did. And those red stripes are going to show through a little bit. But I really don't care on this part of it. Now you can easily get carried away and end up with them way too fat. You may want a much wider one, depending on what you're painting on and just the look that you're needing. Okay, I'm going to wash that color out. And we're going to go into the medium green. But I'm going to go ahead and dry this because I don't want it to mix it all in. Cutting out gumdrops for my church truck or treat, truck or treat. Oh, your trunk or treat. We have fall festival at our congregation. Hi, Linda. October, I have to look. I don't remember. Next month sometime. Of course, I have a painting booth. Each year I have something different for them. One year they painted the candy corn. One year they painted pumpkins. This year they're going to be painting little Christmas trees that they can hang, little ornaments that they can hang on their Christmas tree. Okay, it's not completely dry, but for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and say it's dry. So we're going into that Hauser medium. And just give it some highlights so you're not going to cover completely all the way around. You just want to give it some little highlights here and there, just to look like some new growth coming in. Now I am wiping a little bit of it off over there on my napkin that I've got. You definitely want to make sure you leave some of that dark green showing. These are just so much fun to play with. You could do a solid red wreath. You could do a white one with red berries or red candy canes or peppermints on it. Okay, so here's the plain one. And here's what that second color added. Such a difference. Trying to hold this down so it won't bounce and be so noisy for you. Don't forget now, if you haven't already marked your calendar, I will be having a live sale, a live Dippin' Dottie sale right here on this page at this table on October 16th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I had several of you not happy with me because I came out with the new designs, but I won't have any more available until I get back from the Florida Live event. We had 100 sets made up for that event, and I have a feeling they're going to go fast from what I'm hearing. So I decided it was only fair to do a live sale with y'all when I get back. So October 16th, we'll be having that live sale. And it won't be a first come, first serve. Everybody that wants a set. And I will have the original sets plus the new ones that you've seen. So everybody will be available to order them. And I'll go into more detail closer to time. But just wanted you to know that they will be available to you. Okay, so we've got our second color in there now. So Erica was asking on her page the other day, and I don't guess I'd really thought about it much, but do you see gingerbread people, gingerbread cookies, whatever, our painted gingerbread people, do you see them as just for Christmas, just for the Christmas holidays, or all year long for other holidays? I'm seeing them pop up. I'm seeing Valentine gingerbread people. I'm seeing gingerbread people in pumpkin outfits, and that look like snowmen gingerbread people. So do you think they should just be for Christmas or all year round? I never get tired of them. But I do know some people that decorate their kitchen in gingerbread stuff that stays up all year long. That's just their decor for the whole year. That's what they use as gingerbread. I have chickens and roosters in mine with reds and blacks and greens. And so just like that, they have the gingerbread up all the time. Okay, now we're going to go with some of that lime green. It's very stringy. I'm going to rub it in just a little bit because we don't want near as much on this one. I'm just very lightly touching on the inside, the outside, in the middle. This lime green almost looks yellow. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Again, you could get very detailed and put some snow, some little branches coming out into the inside and outside. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with that dark hauser. I'm going to wipe most of it off my brush, but I'm going to just go very carefully over it to give a little more depth. Very gently. Just toning that lime down a little bit. Okay, so toning that lime down. There's also a Hauser light green that you can use. Okay, so we're done with that. Put the lid back on before I spill it everywhere. And let's go in and put some berries, again, using our, see what size I want. Okay, I think we're going to go with this. This is a medium-sized pouncer, and I'm just going to use it. My Dippin' Dotties are just not quite round enough for something like this. I could use them as a template and then just kind of spread it around, but this is easier in this case. I've got almost everything packed. I just need to pack my paint bag, but I couldn't do it until I finished using all the stuff I'm using here. So I've got to get that packed. Get my guest room ready for company. Okay, so I'm just going to put, I will probably end up putting a ribbon coming here like it's hanging from the top of the pocket. Not sure yet. I haven't made up my mind yet on that. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and put berries. And I like to do them in threes. But you can do them in different directions. So let's do 3 o'clock, looks like our flowers we do. We do 12, 3. Six o'clock. And they can kind of come off of the wreath too. Like this one's going to kind of be coming to the inside. And 9 o'clock. Okay, we'll let those dry and then we can go back over them. One. About to run out of paint. All right, let me put a little more paint on there because it's getting sparse and it's not filling in like it should. I'm sure y'all's area is like ours. I think it's that way everywhere right now, but we have got building, apartments being built, housing additions being built. We had 3 new elementaries built. One of them is across the highway from us. We can't see it from here, but and the traffic is just unbelievable in all of the apartment complexes. They haven't even opened yet. So when they get all those cars in there, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I'm excited to see the growth. I'm just hoping the infrastructure can keep up with it. But the new elementary schools are just beautiful. We built our high school. I guess it's been maybe 6 years, if that long ago, with the intention of having much room for growth. Well, they're already full and they're having to add on 3 additions to our high school. I live in North Texas, just about 60 miles north of Dallas. And I mean, this area is just exploding with growth. Hi, Elizabeth. All year round, Jacqueline says. I agree, why not? Erica says she has ducks and geese. Hi, Roxy. You finished your Santa, yay. I'm gonna make a post tomorrow for everybody to post their Santas on here. Hi, Cindy. Miss Linda. Y'all did such a great job on those. Okay, and these are pretty thick, so it's going to take them just a minute to dry. I'm trying to see what we've got here. Typically, I go into a lot more detail on them, but again, no time. It'd be cute to paint some little ribbon going around the wreath. You want to be careful and not get them too hot or they'll bubble up on you. I almost got that one too hot. Okay, these over here are not near dry. These may be dry enough to go ahead and put a second coat on them. We're going to try it. It would be really cute to paint little peppermints on them too. So if you've never painted on fabric, I highly, highly suggest that you try it. It is so soothing. Once you get the hang of it and just feel the different texture on it and you get used to that and used to the paints, you're going to love it. There's just so much you can do with it. So what I suggest each time usually that I paint on here, that I'm painting fabric, because I know it is daunting to think about getting your a nice shirt or a nice jacket or something like that and just dive right into paint on it. You know, what if I mess it up? So I suggest, if you don't have something old that you really don't mind, like a shirt that you work in the garden in, maybe some jeans or something that your kids have outgrown. If you don't have something like that to practice on, go to a thrift store or the Goodwill or someplace like that and just buy a few things from there that you could paint on, just to kind of get some practice before you start on your actual piece. If you're wanting to paint t-shirts, get an old t-shirt to try it on first, that you're not going to mind if you mess up. And I'm sure some of your friends would probably have some clothes that they're getting ready to donate or something that you could practice on. Okay, now this one looks a little different because it went off of this one too, off of the wreath onto those stripes that we don't have any base coating on them for, so it looks just a little bit darker, which is fine because we're going to put a highlight on it anyway. Okay, so I'm done with that little guy. All right, let's see if we can get some drawing done. Hi, Jen. In class, please, to learn to paint on fabric. Well, I really wouldn't do anything differently than what I'm doing here, showing you. Go back and watch the replay. I use fabric paint when I can, all different brands. I like the So Soft. The Tulip So Soft is really good. But if I don't have fabric paint, then I just use regular Deco Art acrylic mixed with fabric medium, and it's Deco Art as well. I got this at Hobby Lobby, but you can also order it online, and I'm sure Michael's carries it too. There's probably other brands, but this is just the fabric medium, and you put 2 parts paint to 1 part fabric medium and just mix it up, and that's your paint. Also, a couple of videos back, I showed you how to do hats, so go back and watch some of the videos. They should still be there. They'll be there. Facebook leaves them on for 30 whole days. Woohoo! I don't know why they've changed everything up so much, but they have. Okay, so I'm trying to get these dry enough now that I can do a little bit of detailing to them. I got that one too hot. He's bubbling up. So you have to keep it moving. Let me go ahead and turn it around so you can kind of get the idea. So this one will definitely be Christmas with the wreaths on there. But there's our little gingerbread. Like I said, usually I put candy canes or peppermints. Those take a little more work. And I wasn't sure how they would look with with the red and white stripes already. That would probably look fine, but this is much faster and much easier. And since I'm in such a hurry trying to get all these done and packed, I decided to just go this route. our little grandson Jack that we keep on Tuesdays. He just turned 3 in June. And he watched a Miss Rachel show that had Santa on it. So he's been going around the house for the last 2 weeks. Merry Christmas. So he's been getting us in the Christmas spirit. He's the one that's about to be a big brother. Not this Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday we'll have a new granddaughter, his little sister, or yeah, his little baby sister. So that's why we're going to have him for a few days. We'll have him through Monday evening, and then we leave Tuesday evening for Florida. Okay, y'all. All right, I'm going to ask you a question on the snowman. I mean, sorry, not on the snowman, but on the gingerbread man. Do we want snow on the branches since we've made it Christmas anyway? Snow on the branches or no snow? Snow, a little bit of snow on the wreaths or no snow? What do you think? Comment yes or no for snow. Okay, let's go ahead and get the bottom of our berries. I'm just going to hold it up this way. It'll be easier for me. Okay, what did I shade with a minute ago? What did I do with that little brush? Who knows where it went? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to dip back into that antique maroon. And just detail these like I did at the bottom of the ones on the snowman. I mean, on the gingerbread. I keep saying snowman. With us going to be gone so much and helping with the baby, I don't know that I'm even going to get fall decorations up. I may just go straight into Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. I planted some pansies yesterday. They say they do real well in the winter. So I planted those in some of my... I've got some baskets that hang on our back fence. And just to add some more color back there. Now, this doesn't show up real well at the moment, the shading, but it dries much darker. And it does a really good job. You could also use black or soft black. Once I finish painting everything, and it's dry, I let it dry usually overnight. Then I will put it in the clothes dryer on high for 10 minutes and then take it out immediately. Don't let it sit in there because your paint is going to be hot and it'll stick together for you. But Mod Podge fabric sealer. I think I ordered that off of Amazon, I think. All right, I unfolded this and it's too big for my table. So I'm just putting some of that antique maroon down at the bottom of the berries just to separate them. And I'm going to put a little bit of white on there at the top of the berries. Or snow. We'll see what y'all say. I haven't looked yet. Okay, let's take these down here. So I'm leaving here when I finish this live to go decorate my table for the Ladies' Day. We each got our own table to decorate, the ones that signed up. So I ordered me a teal, really pretty teal tablecloth to go on mine. I'm doing it as a paint party table. And then I find out that all the other tablecloths in the room are white. I thought they were going to be all different colors, but I just learned today that they're all white. I said, oh, well, always a troublemaker. I mean, once a troublemaker, always a troublemaker. I said, well, they're going to know which one's my table for sure. Everybody's going to be fighting to get to mine. That's what the way I'll look at it. Everybody's going to be fighting to get to mine. Hello, Miss Raylynn. I love you, sweet girl. You're all grown up and don't even remember me, probably. Hi, Peggy. Oh, I just got over COVID several weeks ago. I'm so sorry. Okay, I like all the faces, Raylynn. Okay, I see yes. I do some of my videos. I have not downloaded this in a while, so I need to go on and download some more on there. Okay, so I see one yes for snow. Okay, we'll put some snow on there. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about highlighting the top of those berries since we're going to put some snow on the top of them. But there's with the bottoms of them shaded. Now you can tell that it's 3 berries and not just kind of a blob. Okay, so let's get that up here without messing it up. And let's go ahead and put some snow on these little branches. And I'm just going to take, let me get a little flat brush over here. Okay, and let me get some white paint. Okay, so I've just got a little flat brush, and I'm going to just kind of from the side of it load some of that. We'll put some paint on there. Okay, so I've just got it loaded just about like that, and then we'll just kind of, not completely on the branch, all the way up and down, but just here and there where it kind of, there's a kind of a bend in it. And remember, you've got little branches coming out. I've got one coming out here. Nope, right here. And remember, you're going to put it on the top of your branches because you're not going to have snow piled up on the bottom. You still want some of your branch to show. And that also helps define the branches. So we've got one here. Okay, so I'm going to put some up at the top. I'm going to try to do it upside down of the berries where we had those highlight marks. You could also do this with the tip of a round brush. You could even put a little bit of glitter. I don't know how glitter would wash in the machine. Okay, but there's the snow. Okay, now let's do our wreaths. And I'm going to try to turn it back around here. Sorry for flipping it so much. Okay, so I'm going to go on the top of our berries. This brush is a little bit too big for those berries. So I'm going to just take a round brush and just get it on the tip. Just around the sides, right on the top. And remember, these back berries are underneath that top one. So the snow's kind of on the top. I think it just brings it to life. I sure do want some snow. We were lucky. Last year we had a beautiful snow here. It was our first winter here in this house. It was so much fun. Thank you, Miss Erica. Erica said snow would be fun, so snow it is. Look how it changes it. Now it's upside down, I know. No snow with snow. Each layer that you add, each detail that you add, just gives it that much more interest. We hired our grandson last year to put up our Christmas lights on top of the house. I put them up everywhere else, all around the ground, and Mr. Pam helped me. But I'm thinking this year, because he's working, he's got his hands full with his job, and I don't want to pay $300 to $400. Well, you can get them done for $2, but it's not the kind of lights I want. I just don't want to pay that money. That's Christmas presents I could buy with that money. So I told Mr. Pam if he'll hold the ladder, I can get up on top of the house. I'm not afraid to get up on top of the house. He said, "You're crazy. I'm not letting you get up on top of that house." And he's got a hip that's just about gone. He is in so much pain every day. He's going to have it replaced really soon. They wouldn't replace it last time, so he needed to wait a little while longer, try to tough it out. So I said, well, you're not getting up on the ladder. I said, I'm not afraid to. I just lay down on my belly and go for it. Now, if my kids were going to be doing that, I would tell them, no, you are not. But it is what it is. Okay, let's take that brush. I've got another one like we used a minute ago, a little bit bigger, but let's take a little, this is a little bit thicker one, longer bristled. Let's get a shorter bristled one of those makeup brushes. And we'll put a little bit of white on it. I'm not going to even, let me see if that's going to give me what I want. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and dot some snow on the wreath. Making sure I leave enough of the green showing. Okay, let's hold you up this way. Okay, now I still may put a ribbon or a bow or something. I'm not sure yet. I can get you up close enough there. Okay, so that added a lot. Adding that snow to the berries. And then here's Mr. Gingerbread Man. So I do like the snow on the branches. I think it added a lot to it. And then here's the whole thing. I don't know if you can see it all. Yeah, there you go. I may just leave it like that. He may just be done. So if you're at the SA Live and you get this apron and you want to add something to it, you know how to do it now. You can add whatever you want to it. You can go in and do all kinds of things to it. But that's it. I think I am done unless I add a little bit of twine or something, red twine ribbon, like it's holding the wreaths. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it a minute and see what I want to do. But other than that, it's done. And I keep telling myself that's the last piece I'm going to paint. I got to stop. All right. Peggy said she wanted to finish her Santa, but have zero energy. Oh, let me tell you, I understand. That COVID, I've had it 5 times now since they first announced COVID a couple of years ago. I've had it 5 times, and it has wreaked some havoc that I still have to deal with since then. So it is no fun, but I'll be praying for you, Miss Peggy. Thank you, Elizabeth. So don't forget, October 16th at 7 o'clock, we'll have the Dippin' Dottie sales for all the Dippin' Dotties, the new ones and the old ones, or I want to say old because they're not very old, but the original sets, because some of you don't have yet have the original ones either. But anyway, so that's what we will be doing October 16th at 7 o'clock. So mark your calendar. And I'm sure I'll see you. I'll probably get on live at when we're in Florida and say hi to you then. All right, y'all. Love you so much. Thank you, and God bless each one of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.